From Montana's news leader, this is MTN News at 5.
Well, good evening and welcome to the MTN News at 5 on KTGF. Tom Wiley here. Thanks for joining us. First tonight. Ahead of May 7th's election, Cascade County's Elections Office ran into a last-minute internal ballot printing hiccup. Cascade County is responsible for 2 school elections and the Fort Shaw Irrigation District election. The office came down to the wire of its Monday deadline with the help of some unsung heroes. MTN's Ryan Gamboa reports.
It's pretty clear by now that it's an election year. There's political ads, there's campaign signs, and there's even now these favorite I voted stickers. And for the Cascade County Elections Office, they were faced with some printing challenges ahead of May 7th's election. And to get the job done, it was a mix of problem solvers and dedicated volunteers. It was a last-ditch effort.
I put in like 25 hours.
For volunteers like Mike Shear.
The dedication of the volunteers is just absolutely unbelievable.
Devotion when the county print shop shut down.
We're going to Plan B.
15,000 ballots unprinted with no time to spare.
We would go to Plan B, that our ballots would be coming from ES&S in Omaha, Nebraska.
A tight timeline notifying those involved in the election within 24 hours. 2-day air shipping for fresh ballots set to arrive in Great Falls the following week.
I think there's been a little confusion as to when the ballots should be going out.
A delay putting Thompson and her staff at risk of missing deadline per Montana election law.
I'm within the timeline. As long as they go out by the 22nd, that's the 15th day before the election, we're good to go.
While ballots should arrive in the mail anytime, it's thanks to selfless volunteers.
But I always kind of like to read the Montana State Election Law book just to keep up on all the laws and things we need to do.
Shear is back donating his time, monitoring the ballot on Tuesday after helping election staff catch up over the weekend.
I'll be here till 1 o'clock in the morning. I don't care. We have to do this properly. Okay, I'll be back here at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning and help out.
With the integrity of our nation's civil liberties in mind, Jack Frattel encourages others to follow suit.
Anybody that feels that they could do a better job, they should come back and try.
Fortitude from office staff and volunteers turned to gratitude from those dutiful to the process.
As a school district, we appreciate that because they're working and volunteering for our election, which is important to us.
It's a united team of people that are dedicated to this process. All across the country, we want to run these elections properly.
Reporting in Great Falls, Ryan Gamboa, MTN News.
Cascade County Elections Office is managing 3 elections, including the GFPS School Board, Centerville Schools, and the Fort Shaw Irrigation District election. If you're wondering how to return your ballot, you can vote and return it in the provided envelope and drop it in the mail. 2 ballot boxes are available for drop-off at the county courthouse annex. A signature is required for both. Voters can also drop off on Election Day, May 7th, at the Montana Expo Park, where counting is taking place. May 7th is not open to the polling, while voters can cast and drop ballots the day of in person. A beautiful day today with lots of sunshine. Time now for a check of our forecast with meteorologist Joey Bianconi.
All right, Great Falls, happy Tuesday. It's another beautiful afternoon out there, 62 degrees. Winds are calmer today, which is very nice to see across the state. Overall, very beautiful temperatures out there, 60s and 50s for most of the state. A beautiful day to get outside and enjoy the weather. We have warmed a little bit, especially in northern portions of the state here compared to 24 hours ago. We are 7 degrees warmer in Glasgow, 5 degrees warmer in Great Falls, 5 degrees warmer in Helena. So not significantly warmer. We will warm quite a bit tomorrow, though. Radar, quiet across the state and pretty quiet across most of the Pacific Northwest. Just some showers in Oregon, California, and Nevada. A bigger system on the East Coast right now, just crossing over the Great Lakes. Winds, like I said, calm across the state. It's very different from what we've seen over the past couple of days here. The strongest wind actually in Helena right now out of the east. So not a very common wind direction here, but that's what we have. Through the rest of today, very quiet winds. However, early tomorrow morning, wind coverage picks up in the east. Once again, could have gusts 20, 25 miles an hour out there. And then along the Rocky Mountain front tomorrow, Some stronger gusts developing throughout the day, and then coverage expanding to include a little bit of pinks in there for stronger gusts, maybe 50 miles an hour. Great Falls, you could have gusts of 25 miles an hour tomorrow. Great Falls, once again, could have stronger wind into Thursday morning once we get this west wind developing off the Rocky Mountain front into Thursday afternoon once again. I'll have more coming up in a little while.
The Montana Department of Fish, Wildlife, and Parks has formed a citizens advisory committee to examine issues around management of mule deer. 16 members were selected from a pool of 100 applicants. FWP says members were selected based on their familiarity with issues involved and their willingness to work with a team and represent each FWP region. Their input will help guide a new management plan for the species in time to inform the 2026-27 hunting season setting process. The committee will meet twice before June 15th, and their work is expected to be completed by June 30th. Both meetings will be multi-day, with the first meeting scheduled from May 6th through 8th. These meetings will be open to the public via Zoom. How would a native Sean Abley's play, The End of the World with Prom to Follow, takes the stage at C.M. Russell High School this week. The play, directed by Chris Evans, has been described as a cross between Lord of the Flies and The Twilight Zone. MTN's Tim McGonigal met with members of the cast to learn what might happen if all but the high school and students suddenly vanished.
The highly heralded CMR Drama Department is preparing to dazzle audiences with an exciting production that examines mortality, friendship, and ethics with a bit of comedy thrown in.
We already have rules. Why don't we just follow them?
Since early March, students have been rehearsing for their spring production, The End of the World with Prom to Follow.
So the CMR students awake one morning to find everybody in town gone. They just vanished. Everyone besides the student body, with a wall of light circling the town.
Normally you can see through force fields. You can't really see through that light.
Survival itself is at stake. Everyone's basically gone, and there's like this light around this city of Great Falls that just could be anything.
The power's on.
They eventually figure out that the wall of light is moving inwards. And they don't know what's happening, but they're just trying to get through life, trying to make normal of what is their new normal.
CMR junior Alexis Fisher plays Kendall in the play. Eventually elected as vice president, she describes Kendall as being funny and witty, sometimes adding tension to the group's setting, but building momentum among the others.
A lot of people look to her and respect her, and she's very well known within the body that's left, the student body.
Rustler sophomore Leighton Larson plays Eddie, a school journalist who is documenting the events for future generations.
And he's kind of like taking the opportunity to broadcast everything, just in case, you know, this isn't the end of the world. It's sort of a way to, you know, show their story for the people who eventually might find the recordings that are published online.
As high school students themselves, the actors had a built-in advantage.
Normally, we're supposed to bring ourselves to a character with just an idea of how we would act if we were that age, but now, I mean, we are this age. We just act how we think we would act, and that's...
You got to kind of bring your own sense of self into this. Like, you know, it's not like the character has to be this. Like, you know, it's a high school student, so it can be like what a high school student means for you.
If it did, then we could just go around killing whoever we want and it wouldn't matter.
Leighton says the CMR Drama Department holds itself to a higher standard. Alexis agrees and says that attitude is shared by all involved in the production.
You ask anybody, people who aren't even on stage performing, they have a role in this show. And you look at everybody during the rehearsal, and you're going to look at them after opening night, and they're just going to have the biggest smiles on their faces.
The End of the World with Prom to Follow plays Thursday through Saturday night at 7:30 at CMR.
It's just an amazing experience.
In Great Falls, Tim McGonigal, MTN News.